Rockford's number one hit music station, 97 ZOK. It's the Steve Shannon Show. Thanks for having us on this morning. You get some important information now from Rockford Mayor Tom McNamara.
Hey, Steve.
So we have an opportunity today and for the next couple weeks to really do what we often like to share on our Facebook page. We all share the memes that say things like, be the change you want to see in the world. While the week may look and feel differently in the next couple weeks, there are all kinds of ways that we can show grace. And I think it's probably important for our kids to see that as they're going to be home and around us a lot more than normal.
No, it certainly is. It's certainly an opportunity for us to come together as a community to face a really unprecedented challenge. And I think I would say as horrible as the last week has been, what has been inspiring and encouraging is Rockfordians. They continue to surpass any expectations that they just care for one another and just want what's best for the community and for the citizens who call it home.
With what's happened now with restaurants and bars, How can we help there?
I met yesterday probably in total with about 50 or 60 different businesses over the day since the governor announced the closure of restaurants, bars, and taverns. And number one, I would say what was really humbling to hear from these folks wasn't what are we going to do to fill their pocketbook. What was most pressing on their minds was what are we going to do to help our employees. So what I'd ask is one thing that citizens can do. We all still need to eat, so try carry out. Try curbside delivery. Try just purchasing a gift card and waiting a couple weeks. If you have the means and ability to do it, purchase a gift card now and use that gift card when things are up and going again. But anything we can do to support the businesses and their employees is critical at this time.
You know, one of the things I read yesterday, and I'm so glad that you brought this up, is that someone was commenting like, well, if we do that, we're just giving money to the people who own these establishments. But what you're telling us is in these meetings, these owners want to move that money through them to their employees. As you said, that's what they're asking for about the most is how they take care of their people. That money's just not going to stop with them. They're making a commitment to make sure their employees get paid. Yes?
Yeah, I can tell you. I mean, yesterday I met with, in one meeting, I met with about 20 different business owners.
Okay.
Every single one of them. The first and last concern that they mentioned to me is their employees. I talked to a business owner yesterday who had put money aside last week knowing things were going to get bad to ensure that his employees got paid. Not him, his employees got paid. That's what makes Rockford a special place is that we have great local businesses owned by amazing people that we need to support during this difficult time.
The message yesterday, residents will not have their water shut off if for non-payment during this time. Are there any other things that lie ahead that you can share with us in ways to relieve those people who might be, a little bit pressed when it comes to resources during this time?
So we are looking at everything. A couple of things. One is, yes, if we are suspending our practice of shutting off water for non-payment. So no one's going to go without water, either a business or a resident.
Okay.
Other things that we're doing that may not, directly impact every resident, but you got to understand, since even when most things close, we can't close here at the city. Our police and fire still need to work. Our public works employees still need to be working to make sure that we're providing basic and essential services to residents. So we have instituted a number of policies at the city to ensure that our basic city services that all of us depend on and must have in our daily lives continue to go on. And some of those is we've developed a brand new telecommuting work from home program so that those employees who have the ability at the city to work from home to provide these services can still do so. We've also provided a bank of sick leave time for our employees because we need to continue to run and we need to continue to care for our own employees. We want them to stay home as well if they are sick or someone they know are sick so it doesn't spread to other essential employees. I have a feeling, Steve, over the next couple of days, you're going to see a host of different initiatives come from myself, but I think you'll also see, I was on the phone a number of times yesterday with Congresswoman Bustos in the governor's office, talking about what programs can we be putting in place to make sure that citizens, especially those whose businesses have already been impacted, make sure that they get some relief. What that relief looks like will depend, but I can tell you we were up till 2 a.m. last night and up early this morning working with these folks to find out what programs we can do because we have to support them.
And again, while I have you on the phone, I know this is another message that we want to make sure people understand is, if you have some of these symptoms, stay home and make those phone calls, because what you're seeing in the grocery stores, the shelves with all kinds of products are gone. Imagine if that were our hospitals and clinics and emergency departments, if they all of a sudden had no resources. So if you think you might be sick, call first before you just go run in somewhere and tax, because we don't want to put these people in a situation where either their health is at risk or they have to make choices on who gets the treatment and who doesn't.
These are difficult messages, especially for Americans to hear today, but you really need to stay put. You need to stay calm. And if you don't feel well, we all have that tendency to kind of muscle through that illness. This is not the time for that. This is the time that if you don't feel well, if you feel like you're having the symptoms that are related to the COVID-19, you need to first call. Do not just go to an emergency room. Don't just go to an immediate care. Call your primary physician. Call the hospital. Because even if they tell you to come on in, they want to be prepared for you. You have a tremendous responsibility on yourself to all of us as other Rockfordians to ensure that you're not going someplace that you can potentially infect so many others. So it's a big responsibility, and it's one that we need to take seriously. The one thing I'd also mention, Steve, and you guys have always been very good at this, we need to continue to urge citizens to get information from reliable sources. There are people out there who believe that it's hard to imagine after so many deaths across the United States and the world that think this is some form of hoax. It is not. This is very real and has potentially devastating impacts on communities all across the country, and Rockford is certainly not immune to it. So get information from reliable sources. Fact check the information that you're getting. Don't just believe your cousin is, all of a sudden an MD. Make sure that we are getting quality information from reliable sources like yourselves.
Mayor McNamara, thank you very much. I know it's going to be a bunch of difficult days ahead, but thank you for your tenacity on our behalf, and hopefully we get a chance to catch up again later this week with any new information.
Honestly, Steve, whenever you want to, we'd be happy to. One of the biggest things we're going to be, I would say, struggling with, but working really hard to do is make sure that we're getting information out as quickly as possible. It's such a fluid situation, and things change literally hour to hour, so whenever you need me, you know where to find me.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor. Have a good day.
You as well, sir. Take care.
That's Rockford Mayor Tom McNamara. This is the Steve Shannon Show, 97 ZOK.